are advocating for an inclusive, functional medical marijuana program for all Texans, for all patients in Texas, but it's a veteran-led initiative. So veterans are here today specifically talking about their experiences with cannabis, the experiences that brought them to use cannabis as a medical resource, as a medical managing tool. But the goal is to open up a program that's going to manage and treat and help all of the patients here in Texas.
Downstairs, we're displaying a wooden military coffin filled with pill bottles from veterans all over the state of Texas, and each veteran has put inside the pill bottle a message to Governor Abbott stating why that veteran needs access to a legal medical marijuana program.
Today is a big day for Texas veterans. We've got beautiful display of poster boards, educational information, and then a really moving display of veterans trying to escape prescription pills and substitute it with medical cannabis.
We're growing and growing because people are listening to our message. We do not feel that we should be treated as criminals for choosing to use a natural plant instead of pharmaceutical medications. It makes me angry to be called a criminal. It makes me angry to have to fear the police and law enforcement just because I'm using this natural medication that I know allowed me to stop using these addictive opioid pain medications and psychotropic medications. Is that what law enforcement and the police and Governor Abbott prefer? That I take this cocktail of pills every day for the rest of my life?
If you get picked up because you're in possession of marijuana and you are prosecuted, that in court you can demonstrate, it's called an affirmative defense, you can demonstrate that a doctor, a licensed doctor, told you this would be good for you, and that can be your affirmative defense to prosecution. And so it's not quite where we want to be, but it's an option for legislators who maybe want to make progress but aren't sure about going all the way to medical marijuana, which to me is a no-brainer, or to decriminalization or even legalization, right?
Nobody is reporting anything negative when using cannabis appropriately for medical use. For medical purposes, I couldn't find a single person, a single veteran, who had a negative experience with cannabis.
Here in Texas, we are surrounded by states who have access for medical cannabis for PTSD and chronic pain. But here in Texas, we don't allow that same medical freedom for our veterans.
We come up here to the Capitol and we testify to our legislators, and many of them now support us. But there are a group of legislators who, despite years of testimony from veterans, patients, and caregivers in Texas, refuse to acknowledge that marijuana can be effective medicine.
There are several bills having to do with medical cannabis. It would allow for an extensive list of debilitating conditions. It would remove that arbitrary cap on THC, and it would also allow for third-party testing, which is extremely important. So we need to make this program more inclusive and more compassionate. It's called the Texas Compassionate Use Program, but when you only have one condition being covered, that needs to be more inclusive of compassion.
I can pull levers on the inside, but this legislation like this is always a partnership. So whatever context you have, whoever your legislators are, they should hear also that you support this type of legislation, because we'll never get it done. I don't have the power to get it done by myself. I can only do what I can here, but you all have the power to change public opinion and the opinion of people in this building.
I'm cautiously optimistic that we will see more progress. I think that our legislators are recognizing that this is what constituents want. We have studies that are coming out of and saying 83% of Texans support a medical cannabis program, and I think that our legislators are recognizing that that's what their constituents want.
Dialogue has totally changed at the Capitol, and that is due to the work that we have put in here, the grassroots advocacy, and the veterans elevating their voice and their messaging to make sure that we're having a real conversation that's based on scientific facts.
I'm not a criminal. I shouldn't be treated as a criminal. All I'm asking for as a voter, as a homeowner, as a veteran, as a loyal citizen of the state of Texas, is a legal medical marijuana program in our state. That's all I'm asking for.